monolithic, which means big stone structure they could find anywhere in the world. And they found that every single one of them fit onto a single grid, which was very simple to construct. All you had to do is start with the same 12 points that Ivan Sanderson found where these matter time-space warps would happen. Take those 12 points, connect the dots, just like I did. That's the icosahedron. But then, the icosahedron has a curious property. It's a geometry that, because it is perfect, can be inverted. It's a mathematical thing you can do where you flip the geometry inside out, literally. That's what it would be. If you add the structure, like made out of wires, you could actually flip it inside out and rebuild it, but build it backwards. Build the geometric inverse of it. All you got to do is inverse the icosahedron and make it so that it fits together with the original icosahedron, and you get this grid. Here it is. So I want to point out to you again, because this is a little bit confusing if you don't know what you're looking at, that all of your original points are still there. Here's, the Bermuda Triangle. Here's the one on the southern tip. Here's the two that I was talking about around Australia, the one that's up there. Here's the one at the South Pole. So they're all still there. But now you've added in the geometric opposite. If you simply build this geometry, you now have a diagram that shows you where every single ancient site in the entire world has been constructed on, over 4,000. They couldn't find a single one that was anything impressive that wasn't built on this grid. Why do you think that is? If you have a wire that's going to go to something that powers an electrical appliance, are you going to put the wire under your armpit and expect that it's going to work? No. You plug it into the wall. If you build a pyramid and you don't build it on this grid, do you think that it's going to work? Not anywhere near as good. You got to build it where the energy is. That's why with these cold fusion guys, they're looking at the cold fusion reactions. They build devices that actually work in some places, but then they bring it somewhere else that doesn't work anymore. It's on 60 Minutes. They've talked about this. Oh, we don't understand. It must not work. It must, and then the scientists say, well, it's the whole technology is wrong. No. It's because if you're on the grid, it's going to work. It's very simple. Let's put all of the cold fusion devices on the grid where they work, and then we'll wire them up and we're done. Just build it where it needs to go. It's very simple. You have energy in one place and it's not somewhere else. It happens to be the energy of the time field. Well, look what else you got here. You got the mid-Atlantic ridge. This is the volcanic ridge that defines what's pushing apart the two continents. And if you start looking at the next grid, which is the Becker-Hagens grid, they've basically taken the same thing. The black dots are Ivan Sanderson's 12 vortexes. Again, all the matter time-space warping going on there. You have all the points of the geometric inverse of the icosahedron, but what they do is they actually take two icosahedrons and they put one out of phase with the other. Rather than inverting it, they just take a second icosahedron and make it a little bit out of phase. We have a phone ringing. That's a sign. Do you guys need a break? No? See, we're having mutiny, Carrie. What should we do? The troops don't know what to do. Okay. All right, we'll do a short meditation and mentally clear the room. That's why we got the cell phone ringing and distracting me. I would ask that you just take a couple minutes. Take a nice deep breath now. If you need to use the restroom, please go, because this is going to be enough time that you can actually have a break if you need one. I won't be offended, I promise. Some of you are hardcore and you're just going to sit through this. That's cool. Either way is fine. I won't judge you. We'll just laugh about you once you're out of the room. I'll make jokes about you. And let's go into the infinite peace of this moment. You may want to close your eyes. You may want to spend a little time relaxing. And just give yourself over to the loving presence of the cosmos. Let yourself feel the articulations of intelligent infinity, which speak to you in the moments between moments. Give yourself an opportunity to relax into the full awareness of who you are. Take comfort in the beauty of you. Take pleasure in the divine energy that makes you who you are. As you tune in deeper and deeper to yourself, you become a pyramid. You become a standing stone. You become a lens of light for cosmic energy to flow through. It doesn't require you to spend any money. It doesn't require you to have any advanced degree or university education. It doesn't require you to drink anything, eat anything, take any pill, smoke anything. All it requires is peace. All it requires is tranquility. All it requires is the knowingness that you are more than your physical body, that you are a divine light, a glorious gift from the cosmos, that any and all negativity that has hung around you can be cleansed away, much like the traditional housewife would sweep out the house with a broom. With all the doors open, the dust comes flying out. The floors become clean. It becomes easier and easier to walk around undisturbed, to appreciate the bounty of your own space, the bounty of your own sovereign identity. For when you learn to love yourself, you can have those boundaries. You can sweep out the dust in your own life, as we're now doing on the planet. The very air that passes through your lungs is the living conduit of universal light that carries you like a magic carpet to lands unseen that float in the sky, lands that are beyond physicality. You have every opportunity to reach out and find those lands. You have the glory of being yourself in this moment. You have an opportunity to expand your awareness so that that mind that thinks through the hardware of the brain is not just the mind of your personal ego, but the universal mind that is much more than just your own personal self. It is the self with a capital S. Let's experience that self. Because as you do, the energy flows through you, and it is an energy that creates an impenetrable shield that no negativity can penetrate. It is a living vessel of light, the chalice of the Holy Grail that allows you to be perfectly sovereign in mind and in body and in spirit. By living through that consciousness, you live in the presence of your everlasting awareness, your eternal identity, which is never going to be terminated by the loss of a body. It is much more than that. Your mind is information, and the information has identity, and the identity is the universe. So now I will start to bring you back into the conscious mind. Most of our friends have gone to the bathroom now. So we're all back in the room. I'd like you to